Hey, good morning. Welcome back to Mutant Week. We are back playing more Marvel Champions, more X-Men from Marvel Champions, and I am super excited. I have been absolutely loving the new heroes, the new scenarios. Today, we are working with Cyclops, and then we're actually going to start the campaign. We're actually going to be able to start the campaign today. We have a little bit of change of plans because I was going to do Scott in 2 games today, but I noticed a couple of mistakes mistakes that I had made in my previous couple of games. And so we're just going to run back. We're going to do the 4 games with Scott because he's very strong and I'm having a ton of fun with him. And so why not play more? The main mistake that I was making is his constant training. Scott's action is search your deck, and I was searching my discard pile. So I think that probably makes it a little bit stronger, at least early game. But it was it was just something I was doing. I don't know if it affected any of the games too significantly, but I do want to just make sure that we are playing him correctly because I know a lot of people watch this and will learn from these videos, and I don't want to teach incorrectly. So I do want to go ahead and play through the Aggression and Justice game again, which, if history repeats itself, does not take a long time. Hey, the DOS. Good morning. How are you? Welcome. Okay, so we are taking Cyclops against Crossbones. So Crossbones is the victim in this scenario to Scott Summers. We are attacking Mount Athena every single one of these games. We're going to be switching out a mod set. So Crossbones has 3 mod sets that you are able to use, which I think is the most. I actually don't know. You have the pronunciation on the first. I go decent morning. Dose. Yeah. So in college, we had the house that I stayed at. We named each one of the rooms and we called one of them the DOS. I don't know if that was just us mispronouncing dose or whatever, but we called it the DOS. And that's why I saw it. I was like, oh wait, that's the DOS. It's not. Should be a chill day of work again. So more stream watching. Awesome. Welcome. I'm excited for today. I have been absolutely loving Cyclops, and I am absolutely loving Cyclops, and I am so pumped to start the campaign. So the campaign will be started today, and that's really exciting. Oh, don't worry. It's 50-50 for some people. Yeah, I just flip a coin and let's see what happens. Alrighty. So Crossbones, we are going to be playing through the aggression deck. This is the same aggression deck because I think the aggression deck works really well with what we had built. With the new, or not the new, the understanding of Scott's ability to search your deck, I do think that those tactic upgrades may be a little bit more valuable than we initially thought. And that's because as you go through and you draw through your tactic upgrades, which I believe you have 6 of them. Let's just count them real quick. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2 of each. As you go through your deck, you are thinning your deck of that, meaning Scott can't tutor them if there's not any in the deck. So if you fill the deck up, you are able to tutor those again. Whereas if they were in the discard pile, once one is in the discard pile, you can always have access to Scott's ability. So late game, or I guess like mid game, once your deck thins, the way I was playing it was a little bit stronger. I don't actually know if we ever got to a point in a game where that mattered, but but it does make it so that the beginning of the game can be a lot easier and you can get what exactly you need. Hey Trepid, I'm doing the Rise of Red Skull campaign, not no, I am currently doing the hero spotlight for Cyclops, and the villain that we've chosen to beat up on today is just Crossbones. And so we're doing this, and then after we finish the hero spotlight, then we're starting the Mutant Genesis campaign. So we're just going through Crossbones with all 4 aspects. Yeah, yep. So soon, because Scott finishes games in roughly 5 to 6 minutes, we should be there. Which set of villains campaigns do you feel are best for testing? So if we're talking like a full set of villains, like campaign style villains, I would say Red Skull is probably your best bet because it has the least amount of craziness going on. I think probably Sinister Motives is a good second. Galaxy's Most Wanted, if you want to really put a deck through its paces, Galaxy's Most Wanted would be there. And then Mad Titan Shadow would also be a good one, but I would go Red Skull. If we're thinking about just villains outside of like a campaign or outside of a set, my go-tos are Crossbones, Claw, Drang. Looking over here now. I thought the Mansion Attack was a really good one. I thought Mansion Attack works really well. We could go with Crossbones, Taskmaster, Sandman, Venom. There's a lot of them that can work really well. I tried to pick villains for these hero spotlights that don't alter the game too much, right? Like a Hela changes the game significantly and what you need to be doing. Same with like Escape or Infiltrate the Museum. There's just a lot of things that go into it, not meaning that it's a bad scenario, just meaning that it doesn't necessarily give me an idea of how this deck is going to perform on the standard. And so yeah, so Crossbones starting at 12. Let's look at the deck real quick. So the deck is 3 copies of Attack Training. The Attack Training will be tutored and placed via Danger Room, and really kind of the strategy is to be an alter ego as frequently as possible and then flip up and kill. So we have 3 copies of Meditation to help pay for all the expensive cards that we have, being Avengers Mansion, all of our allies, so Magic, Colossus, Wolverine, Professor X, Polaris, and the reason that we have multiple different X-Men aspects in here is that Scott's ability is he can include X-Men from any set or any aspect. And then Polaris is in here to give Wolverine the tough status card. This deck is basically around letting Wolverine do as much damage as he possibly can. Beast, Angel, Blindfold, those are our allies, and Meditation gets most of those out there for free or for 1 cost. We have the X-Jet Team Building Exercise, Cerebro. We have a lot of psionic characters in here. Actually, Marvel Girl. I was trying to remember. Marvel Girl is in here. I think Marvel Girl was in here instead of Magic because she's psionic. Once you have a psionic character, once you control a psionic character, Cerebro allows you to search the entire deck for an ally. And so that helps you get Wolverine sooner. Utopia to ready Wolverine, money, and then game times to also heal and ready Wolverine. So it's a very aggressive deck. If you can grab Wolverine in turn 1 or 2, you can keep him on the table for a while. That attack training him bumps him up to 6 health, meaning that he can attack 1 time for 2 damage. He heals 1, he goes to 3. He can basically stay on the table the entire game, which honestly does not take super long with the aggressiveness that is Scott. Once we have the priority targets out there or the tactic upgrades, I really like priority target. That's the one that allows you to draw 2 cards once it's defeated. So I try and pull that once I know that Crossbones is, or the villain is going to be going into stage 2. I pull out priority target, throw that on the villain, and then just go to town. That 2 card draw, plus since you have a tactic upgrade attached, you can hit the optic blast, and the damage output that Cyclops can provide was honestly a little bit shocking to me. It was pretty significant. Let me just count these cards. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. Okay, usually they're even stacks, but I just must have missed it. Okay, we will remember to shuffle these today and not just draw all of the standard off the top. Has anyone else had some exciting or interesting deck builds with any of the mutants that we've gotten. I saw a I've seen a lot of stuff with Colossus, that being, you know, just like a heavy ally swarm chump block scenario, so that you could have Colossus keep all of his tough status cards instead of just soaking them with the villain, and then when he keeps them, he uses those as resources. We are going to be playing through Colossus, so that may be something that pops up for us as a strategy. I was thinking of Scott in a multiplayer game, and he has the Field Commander upgrade, which allows all of the tactic attachments on minions. They lose their temporary keyword, so you can play them as, and they stay out the entire time. And it allows you to always take the first turn, so you can put out these tactic upgrades so that everyone at the table can benefit from them. But what I was thinking is, we always give the first player token, and this is I don't know if everybody does this. We always just do this because of Team Covenant. But whenever we're playing a leadership deck, we give the first player token to the leadership player, especially if they are running Maria Hill. Maria Hill allows you to draw one card. So what I was thinking is, and that works because if you can draw Maria Hill in your opening hand, you're golden. And then later on in the round, if you have Maria Hill, only you and the people following you in the turn order really benefit from Maria Hill. However, Scott always takes the first turn. So can you just break Maria Hill with Scott? And you go make the calls, rapid responses. You do all of these things that make sure Maria Hill is always entering play again. Command teams. So Maria Hill comes in, she has 1 damage, or she has 2 health, right? So she threats, command team readies, threats again, pulls her back, rapid response, pulls her back in, everyone draws a card, threat again, kills her, everyone else draws a card, make the call, pull her back in. You can just spam this multiple times every single turn because you're always first player, and I really want to run that deck. I feel like everyone else is rolling into their turn with like 7-8 cards in their hand. I feel like that could be really interesting. And I love support characters. I love playing support. And so I just feel like that would work really fun. Or that'd be really fun. Alrighty, attack on Mountain Athena. We create the experimental weapons deck. And then we'll flip. This starts out at 3. Reveal the top card. We've got an exosuit. And Scott has got a full blast. This is actually a little unfortunate to see in our opening hand. We only have 1 full blast. This says whenever you use your optic blast ability, exhaust Cyclops. This attack does 8 additional damage and gains overkill. So what I like to do with full blast is throw the tactic upgrade that is like the 1 cost, and every attack deals 1 extra damage. And so now the full blast is a 1 for 12, and that pushes the villain in stage 1, which we may do, right? So it depends on what else we see in our hand. We got full blast, we got attack training, we've got practice defense, team building exercise, ruby quartz visor, and tactical brilliance. So we don't have any allies. We're going to mulligan full blast. We have a lot of damage in our kit, and so it would be nice to have, but it's not worth holding on to. I think we will probably keep ruby quartz visor. We'll keep team building exercise, and let's go ahead and just toss the rest of these. This is threat. Tactical brilliance allows us to grab a tactic card from your discard pile. That may be where I was getting it from, but let's mulligan into Angel. Okay, so we have an ally. That's good. A strength. Okay, so we can pay for Angel. Oh, a Phoenix. Nice. And then a Ricochet Beam. Alrighty. So what I want to do is I want to get Phoenix onto the table. After Phoenix enters play, we can choose a Cyclops card in our discard pile and pull it back into our hand. And so she effectively costs 2, meaning that she's a little bit better than Angel in that sense. But what we can do is we can go get a tactic upgrade. So if we We can get Angel down, or we can get Phoenix down. And then we can also get Angel down, or we could get Team Building Exercise down. Let's just go get our tactic upgrade. We're going to take Practice Defense. So this is -1 attack, because I would like the priority targets and the attack training, or not the attack training, I'm gonna just exploit weaknesses to come up later in the game. And Practice Defense, at least at this point, we're running as quickly as we can through here, so we don't necessarily need to worry about health as much. So let's go ahead and play a Ricochet Beam and a Strength to put in Phoenix. Put Phoenix into play. After she enters play, choose a Cyclops card in your discard pile and add it to your hand. So we will take Ricochet Beam. She comes in ready. Okay. So let's go ahead and toss a Ricochet Beam and a Ruby Quartz Visor to put Team Building Exercise into play. We will flip up to Cyclops's. We will exhaust Team Building Exercise, discard Practice Defense to play Angel. So he does not struggle from starting. He hits the ground running. So we will just swing for 2, 4, 5 for Crossbones. We'll pass out some consequentials. We'll ready up. So we got Utopia, Cerebro, Field Commander, Attack Training. Okay, so 2, 4. Professor X. I was really hoping to see Wolverine, but we do have Cerebro. We can search our entire deck for Cerebro, and then we can pull Wolverine and play him this turn because we have a psionic character. Alrighty, so we will spend 1. Crossbones is going to attack for 2. We'll take it to the face, +2. So we've got 4 damage, which is fine. Then our bad card is going to be the Acolytes. Each Acolyte minion gains guard. This is coming in with 3. And it is a hazard icon. Alrighty, on my turn, I was going to say that we could go get Wolverine and put him into play, but also Professor X. Now we'll stick with our initial plan. So we'll Team Building Exercise to play Cerebro because we both share the X-Men trait. We will have Cyclops go ahead and thwart 2 off of the Acolytes. I don't want to be resolving 2 of those cards. We'll flip down to Scott Summers. We'll use Cerebro. Because we control a psionic character, we can search the entire deck, which we will grab Wolverine. Actually, while I'm here, I'm just going to go ahead and use this ability, and we will take a priority target. We'll actually take we'll take a priority target. Okay, so can't wait to give Cyclops a shot. He's something else, I'll tell you that. He's pretty crazy. I'm very much enjoying Cyclops. So then we'll toss Utopia, Field Commander, Professor X, and priority target to play Wolverine. He comes in ready, and then we will got 2, 4, 7. We'll have Wolverine go ahead and thwart this one. It's a little weird, but then it's going to help with his health, and then we'll hit Angel and Phoenix. We'll hit Crossbones for 4, and that's gone. We get to ready ourselves. Took me 5 tries to get through Sabretooth with Colossus yesterday. Ended up switching to a Justice deck. I have heard that justice is almost needed for this, and just being that it's a very threat heavy scenario. So I do plan on running justice with Colossus. Hey B Snow, don't mind me, just still working on your Agmar deck. I heard that did you see the card of the day yesterday, where it was a contract from Hunt of Dreadnought where your minimum deck size is 100 cards. Maybe you should use that, and then that could help you narrow it, or you don't have to narrow it down as much. We got a meditation, we got a ricochet beam, we got a priority target, beautiful right there, blindfold, and then a genius. So I do believe that this is probably kill if we have, yeah. Yep. Okay. So we'll place 1 here. Crossbones will scheme for 2+2, which will push us into the Infinity Stone. That starts with 1 threat, and then we add, oh, the retaliate one, the one that could mess us up. Maybe not. It probably will be fine. I saw that. Don't have. Oh yeah, no, I don't even have that one. It's the Hunt for the Dreadnought's a tough one to find. Agmar scenario 2. That box. Put that box back on the shelf for me. You can't. I can't do it. Oh no. Do people actually build 100? I think it's just for that one. I think it's 50 cards, and then that 100 card deck is it's just the contract that you use. So it's like an alter. I actually don't know how contracts works in Lord of the Rings. I haven't gotten there. I have not played Agmar though, so interesting. I know that it is difficult. Our bad card is going to be Weapon Mastery. The villain schemes if they have a weapon attachment. This card gains Surge, so he's scheming for 2, +2. That's 4. Then it surges into full auto, which surges because we're an alter ego. Surges into full auto, which surges because we're an alter ego, into Hydra Bomber. Choose to either place 1 threat on the scheme or take 2 damage. We'll take the 2 damage. Alrighty, now it's our turn. Wolverine will heal 1 because he always heals at the start of our turn. We will. We're at 4. I think we could probably win. Even without that, even taking the retaliates. So he's at 3. Let's go ahead and grab our exploit weakness using his ability, and then we'll Cerebro to grab Marvel Girl. Probably not Colossus, because that's going to be more damage for us. Okay. We do have a meditation. What set does Crossbones come in, or is he from a standalone? He comes in the Rise of Red Skull campaign. Yeah, so, and I highly recommend getting Rise of Red Skull. It gives you a lot of villains. It gives you 5 villains. All the campaigns give you 5 villains, but I think they give you 5 really good villains. Yeah, I highly recommend the Rise of Red Skull campaign. They're all like interesting, not like crazy. They're all fairly standard. You have CS plus Sinister Motives, Corset. Okay, yeah. Those are both good. Sinister Motives was my favorite campaign so far, but I'm excited to see how this works, or how this goes on. Alrighty, okay, so let's go ahead and throw a priority target onto Crossbones. And we will also toss a blindfold to play exploit weakness on Crossbones. Crossbones has 3 health left, so we will go ahead and have Phoenix. Yeah, we'll have Phoenix hit Crossbones for 3. Retaliate doesn't trigger, but her consequential does trigger. Crossbones pushes into stage 2. So 14 hit points. We have to go find his machine gun. We killed him, so we get to draw 2 cards. We got the X-Jet and Game Time. Okay, so let's toss the X-Jet to play attack training on Wolverine. Yeah, we will use a meditation to exhaust Scott to play Colossus. Reduce the cost to play Colossus by 1 if you have the mutant or X-Men trait, which we do. Alrighty, so Crossbones is at 14. Hey, Red King, thanks for the follow. Sees Phoenix enter discard pile. Gene! Hey, Maddie, how's it going? Also looking to pick up SPDR, Wolverine, and possibly War Machine. I really love SPDR. War Machine, I am not the biggest fan of. Don't let that dissuade you at all. War Machine feels very linear. He feels like he has one kind of strategy, and I don't like that. I feel like he's almost solved. But he's that one strategy is pretty good, so. Okay, so Scott's going to flip up to hero form. Crossbone says 14. No, I like decks with flexibility. Yeah, Red Skull, you're gonna like Red Skull then, because Red Skull comes in with Spider-Woman, who I think has the most interesting deck building capabilities. She picks 2 aspects, and you have to have an equal number of cards from both aspects. So I love, I absolutely love Spider-Woman. I think she's very, 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 very strong, but she's a ton of fun. Alrighty, so Wolverine will swing for 5 against Crossbones. 2, 3, 4, 5. He will take 3 damage for that. 1 from the Retaliate, and then 2 from his Consequential. He's swinging for 5 because of 3, 4, plus 5 for the Exploit weakness. So he's down to 9. We will use a Genius for a Ricochet Beam. Deal 3 damage to an enemy, deal 3 damage to an enemy with an upgrade attached. So we will hit Crossbones for 3. 1, 2, 3, 4 because of the Exploit weakness. And then I will take a Retaliate, and then we'll hit him for 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I will take a Retaliate, and then Crossbones will swing and hit Colossus will swing and hit Crossbones to kill him. There you go. SPDR feels super OP, and you love it. SPDR is, I was so skeptical about like the 4 hand size and the 3 hand size in hero form, but she has been one of the more fun heroes to play. She feels very engine buildery, and she has so many options. So I think that you would like that. I was messing around in the Precon and TTS, and yeah, she seems really strong. Yeah. And then you get like some really cool interactions with all the new cards that she, especially in Sinister Motives, actually, like you get a lot of really fun interactions with like the shield archetype with Sinister Motives. So I think you'll really like her. You like spiders and mechs? Yeah, nice. Still trying to get the hang of Gwen and Miles and Sinister Motives. They do take a little bit of time. Gwen feels very like she's interesting. She's very like I like her. I like how they did her ability, because you know she kind of can sense a little bit of the future, so she has a lot of these responsibilities. And so Gwen is one of my favorite heroes. And then Miles does take a while because he always wants to be flipping, and you flip, and then that allows you to shuffle a card back into your deck, which can be really, really strong. I think it's the double life card. That card is really good because that does not take your flip for the round. So you can flip, play double life, flip back. You can flip twice in a turn, and that can lead to some really fun combos. So many cards to help dig to get your setup cards. Yeah, that's really true. I find Miles is more protective while Gwen is reactive. Yes, yeah. Miles does so many status conditions, and he can just kind of lock down a villain really easily. And Gwen, Gwen, once you kind of understand the flow of the game, she like knowing when to play what cards and readying up, and then her wrist, I don't remember what the card is, but there is a card in SPDR that you're gonna really like. It's Auto Octavia. I think it's Otto the Spider-Man, who's a gray card, and it says whenever he, I don't remember if it's whenever he enters or leaves play, you get to ready a tech upgrade, which can be those already an upgrade, and if it's tech upgrade, you get to draw a card, which is the her wrist things are tech upgrades, so there's some fun combos in there. There's the spider wave was incredible. I love the spider wave. Okay, so that was the aggression deck. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. It goes so fast. Let's hop over to Justice, just because we already have that deck built. I'll be right back in like a couple minutes.